Selamat malam pemirsa, apa kabar Anda? Kilas Opini kembali hadir bersama saya Tito Laksmana. Pemirsa, Kilas Opini kali ini adalah edisi khusus bersama Duta Besar Rusia, His Excellency Mr. Alexander Ivanov, dan wartawan senior Bapak Ako Manafe. Mengingat hubungan bilateral yang telah berlangsung selama puluhan tahun antara Indonesia dan Rusia, maka malam ini kita akan membicarakan segala hal yang berkaitan dengan Rusia, hubungan bilateralnya dengan Indonesia, dan sekaligus mempelajari kebudayaan dan kebijakan politik dari Rusia. Dan tentunya pemirsa, seperti biasa Anda juga dapat berpartisipasi di nomor telepon 021 3919 121 atau 021 3919 206. Sebelum kita mulai Kilas Opini malam ini, saksikan dulu informasi berikut ini.
Russia is a vast country that stretches to the east of Europe and northern Asia. With an area of 17,075,400 kilometers per cubic, Russia becomes the largest country in the world. As a large country similar with our beloved Indonesia, Russia holds a variety of ethnicities and religions, including the similarity both countries hold, which is a large number of Muslim community. Over the past 61 years, Indonesia and Russia continue to generate bilateral relations, starting from the visit of Indonesia's first President Sukarno. In 1965, President Sukarno for the first time paid an official visit to the cold country. It was a trip marked with warm, friendly and genuine gesture of the host's hospitality. The trip lasted 16 days from the 28th of August to the 12th of September. Since then, followed more visits of both presidents, strengthening the bond of the far-located countries.
Indonesia and Russia best friend. Itulah tema malam ini. Dan kali ini Kilas Opini telah kedatangan narasumber tamu kehormatan kami, yakni Duta Besar Rusia untuk Indonesia, the Russian Ambassador for Indonesia, His Excellency Alexander Ivanov. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening. Oke, kemudian narasumber kita yang kedua, ini Bapak Ako Manafe. Selamat datang, Pak Ako.
Terima kasih, selamat malam.
Okay, the first question is for you, Mr. Ambassador. Okay, could you please tell me in general, how is Russia today?
Well, Russia today is a democratic country with a thriving economy. The territory of Russia is the largest in the world. For example, if you take a flight from Moscow to Vladivostok on the eastern part of Russia, it will take you 9 hours to reach Vladivostok from Moscow.
Hours. What a long flight.
We have a lot of problems, of course, as any country in the world. We should raise the level of living of our ordinary people. But at the same time, the Russian economy is developing very dynamically. I must say that after the global crisis of 2008,
Yes.
Russian economy is already rising, and now we have the task before us to modernize the Russian economy. We have achieved a lot in different spheres of economy, technology and trade. Take, for example, space technologies. nuclear technologies, physics, mathematics, our science. We have reached very different heights in our development. But now is the time to modernize the Russian economy so that we should not depend only upon our natural resources, such as oil and gas. At the same time, we are reforming our education system in order to give our children the highest standard education. Education in my country was always of a very high standard, but now we entered a new age, the age of new technologies, information technologies, and we should adapt our education system to this new age of new technologies. And of course, we should preserve our rich culture. A lot of work is done in this regard. For example, we are reviving our museums. We build new museums in order to preserve our rich historical roots in different spheres, in the sphere of literature, arts, dance performance, ballet, and so on. So all in all, Russia is on the rise, as well as Indonesia. In this regard, we are partners, and that gives us a possibility to cooperate bilaterally and within the framework of different multilateral institutions.
As you say about culture, how about the ethnic diversity in Russia?
Well, in this regard, Russia resembles Indonesia. As well as Indonesia, Russia has many ethnic groups. Traditionally, they live peacefully with each other. Historically, they always cooperated with each other because they are neighbors, they live side by side. We have more than 100 ethnic groups. I think in this regard, Indonesia and Russia are alike.
Oke, thank you, Mr. Komentar Pak Ako mengenai kondisi Rusia saat ini seperti apa, Pak Ako?
Ya, saya ingin katakan bahwa seperti dijelaskan oleh Yang Mulia Bapak Duta Besar Rusia tadi, bahwa perkembangan ekonomi Rusia itu sangat cepat dan jauh lebih cepat dari negara-negara di Barat ya. Pada tahun 1990-an ya, itu income per kapitanya hanya $1.500 ya. Tapi sekarang itu melompat menjadi $13.000 ya. Jadi 7 kali naik ya dalam 1,5 dekade, dan ini sangat luar biasa. Kemudian Rusia juga memperhatikan negara-negara tetangganya ya. Kita tahu bahwa ada ribut-ribut di Afghanistan, masalah teroris dan sebagainya. Tapi kita harus memuji Rusia bahwa Rusia dalam plannya yang akan datang akan memberikan bantuan pembangunan infrastruktur di Afghanistan sebesar $3 miliar ya. Kalau Anda bandingkan dengan NATO ya, mungkin hanya beberapa ratus juta dolar ya. Padahal kalau kita mau lihat secara fakta, itu Amerika yang memimpin invasi terhadap Afghanistan karena masalah terorisme tadi ya. Tapi ternyata Rusia tidak melihat aspek-aspek itu. Dia dengan setia memberikan bantuan yang sangat luar biasa, dan itu $3 miliar gitu ya. Sedangkan kalau NATO dan negara-negara Barat, kalau nggak salah cuma 145 atau 200 juta dolar ya. Jadi luar biasa perhatian Rusia, dan saya kira kepada Indonesia nanti kita katakan lagi, tapi di masa Bung Karno dan sudah itu banyak sekali perwira kita yang belajar di Rusia pada waktu itu. Ya.
Baik,
saya kira
kita kembali ke Mr. Ambassador. Mr. Ambassador, could you please tell us about the foreign policy of Russia at this moment?
Well, Russia is a member of the United Nations Security Council since its inception. Russia now, Russian foreign policy now is multi-vector foreign policy. Look at the map. The geographical position of Russia is a unique position because part of the territory of the Russian Federation lies in Europe and 2/3 of Russian territory lie in Asia. So those people who speak of Russia as of purely European country, they are, this is not truth. Russia is both European and Asian country, maybe even more Asian than European.
Yes.
That is why we pursue multi-vector foreign policy. That means that we attach equal importance to our relations with Western countries and to our relations with Eastern Asian countries. That is why Russia is a full member of all new integration processes in the Asia-Pacific region. We are members of APEC, Asia Pacific Economic Forum. We are members of ASEM, Asia-Europe Forum. We are dialogue partners of ASEAN. We are members of G20. And within all these institutions and mechanisms, of course, we closely cooperate with Indonesia. Maybe I will speak about this cooperation later on, but now I would say that the conceptual basis of the Russian foreign policy is almost the same as the conceptual basis of Indonesian foreign policy. That is, both countries, Russia and Indonesia, recognize the central role of the United Nations in the international arena. Both countries adhere to the international norms and principles of international law. That is very important. Both countries pursue the policy of non-interference into the internal affairs of other countries. Both countries recognize that collectiveness in working out and taking decisions in the international arena is a prerequisite of constructing a new, more fair, more just international order. So this gives us, Russia and Indonesia, a very good basis for our cooperation in the international arena.
Okay, that's very interesting. But Mr. Ambassador, we have to take a short break. Okay. Dan pemirsa, Anda juga dapat berpartisipasi dalam acara ini melalui telepon di nomor 021 3919 121 atau 021 3919 206. Kami akan segera kembali. Pemirsa, kembali di Kilas Opini bersama saya Tito Laksmana dan tamu kita kali ini Dubes Rusia Mr. Alexander Ivanov dan juga Bapak Ako Manave, seorang wartawan senior. Okay, continuing our previous discussion, sir. Our first president, Indonesian President Sukarno, had come to Russia in 1956, formerly known as the Soviet Union back then. And it became a very memorable trip. And perhaps you can tell us, how does the visit affect the Russian public back then?
Well, it was a very interesting period in our bilateral relations. But even before that, in 1946, my country already came out in support of Indonesia independence. In 1946, the Russian representative in the United Nations Security Council supported Indonesian strive for independence. That was the first move of my country in favor of Indonesia independence. Then, right after Indonesia gained independence, our bilateral cooperation developed dynamically. My country helped Indonesia a lot in different spheres. In the supplying Indonesian armed forces with weaponry, in construction of roads. For example, in central Kalimantan, until now, the road constructed in the beginning of 60s is the main road in that area. Another example, when President Sukarno spoke in the Central Stadium in Moscow, he so liked this stadium that he asked the Russian leadership at that time to construct the same stadium in Jakarta.
Yes.
And it was built just in 2 years. It was built, the Gelora Bung Karno Stadium was built by Russian specialists.
Yes.
In other areas as well, we cooperated very closely. My country supported Indonesia's strive to gain Irian Jaya. My country sent submarines and ships to defend Indonesia's bid to gain Irian Jaya. And eventually it was done. There is also another very interesting episode in our bilateral relations. In 1961, then the first cosmonaut on Earth, Yuri Gagarin, made his first flight to outer space. He was so popular among Indonesian public that the name Yuri was very common in Indonesia. Even now, the name Yuri is very often met in this country.
Yes.
The parents name their children Yuri after Yuri Gagarin, the most known person, Russian person at that time in Indonesia.
That show how popular he was. Yeah. Okay, and entering the period of Russian Federation, some of the president of Indonesia also visit Russia, such as Megawati Soekarno Putri and Susilo Bambang Yudhoyono. And what do you think was their agenda?
Well, in the beginning of this century, our bilateral relations are developing on a new basis. Previously, in the end of 50s, in the beginning of 60s, it was mainly ideology. But now we are developing our relations on a new pragmatic basis. As I said earlier, we have the common position on international issues. That is very important. But apart from that, we are trying to develop bilateral relations in different spheres, in economy, in trade, in culture, in tourism, and so on. And in 2003, the then president of Indonesia, Megawati Soekarno Putri, made an official visit to Moscow. And at that time, we concluded a very important agreement, declaration on building a